All right, good morning, everyone. Melissa here. I just brought this shirt last night, so I'm gonna wear my new white blazer over this for a business meeting. So yeah, I want to talk about a couple things. First of all, Kevin Leandro's on here. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Ben. Watching my videos. How you doing? Um, so Ben is still in love with his wife, and there's no question about it. There's none. I mean, battle one. There's none. If, Ben, you did not want to be with your wife and you wanted a divorce, you would be off doing your own thing. And clearly, by your actions, you are showing that you are still in love with your wife. Okay? So, ladies, this is for other people watching too. When your husband is, yes, this is public, Kevin Leandro this morning, this is public viewing, so we are the public. No, you're not, Kevin. Look at how many people watch my videos. There's more than you here watching this. So even though my videos are public, you know what? It doesn't mean you have to watch them, right? So my husband could be doing a million things. He wanted his freedom, and now he has it. So, freedom though, what does that mean? My husband had plenty of freedom before. He had freedom to go see his parents if he wanted, and he didn't want to. He had freedom to bike ride whenever he wanted, and he did. And usually I was on the back with him. That's how much he loved bike riding with me. I was on the back with him almost all the time. And when he did go by himself, he's like, want to go for a bike ride? Want to go? He always wanted me with him. And even though I would get cramped up on one of those bikes, and I'd be like, I can barely walk after because there's not enough room on this bike. This bike is too small. I would still bike ride with him, and I would hug him, and he'd be very happy. He'd be like, I feel like, you know, he'd feel free. He'd feel free with me. He could feel my chest against his back, and that's how close we were when we would bike ride. I mean, he would be like, put your boobs up behind me. I like it. So we would always bike ride together, and we were always, having time together. We didn't always argue. Obviously, we had 5 sons together, and we had sex all the time together. Sex was something we had constantly. That is something that, the Bible talks about too. Be together all the time lest you're tempted outside of the marriage. So there's a saying, when you're not married, the devil tempts you to have sex, and when you are married, the devil tempts you not to have sex. So keeping your sex life really strong, ladies, is important. Taking care of yourself, making sure that you are attractive to your husband is very important. But anyways, so we had tons of kids. We had 5 kids together. There were times that, you talk and you disagree, but arguing, and I don't even call it really arguing. Someone who's negative might say it's arguing. I call it having a very vibrant discussion or a heated discussion. And even after that, you can make up, right? So even if you have like a little disagreement, you can make up. And that's the fun of it. So yeah, his actions, you got this, ladies. When a guy is still watching you, it shows his actions speak louder than his words, and you got this. You got this. Move in for the kill. Move in. And that's exactly what I'm doing. So yes, I am willing to work things out with my husband. I'm willing to reconcile. Like I said before, do you have a place for me in New Hampshire? And he said he didn't. And I said, well, then how do you expect me to get back to New Hampshire? So yes, I am willing, after my class in August, to come back to New Hampshire. And I'm willing to do some stuff in New Hampshire with my business. I'm willing to come back. Obviously, I'm willing to lay everything down for my husband. I am doing this pro-life stuff. I am getting my motorcycle license. I'm working on it. But right now, my son is priority in making sure he's all set. Making sure my sons are all set. That's why I came out here, to make sure not only that my minor was okay, because I had a responsibility as a parent, but to make sure, I hadn't seen my older son in a while and I missed him, to make sure my sons are okay. So, my son went through a divorce. His wife walked out, left him, with everything, and he is headed to Nevada. And I don't think I'm going with him, but I've got my other sons to think about. I don't know. I could go with him too. It all depends on a lot. So my husband has a window right now to work things out. Guys, I also want to talk about my class last night. My class was awesome. We talked about funding, one of my favorite classes. I do enjoy talking about money and learning about money. And we had a great class. And I'm thinking, Melissa, when you've been at the bottom of the bottom here with trying to take care of everyone, trying to, getting help with, like food pantries, getting help with rent, getting help with everything, you still succeeded in school. So I don't know why it's like I go to school when these crises happen. Like the first one was I was in high school and there was the abortion. The second time, well, then I was in college and my husband and I, we were together and he broke up with me in college. And I still did fine in college, but I was like, you know what, I didn't have any help and I didn't know how to ask for help. I said to the professor, I said, I've had a hearing problem, so maybe this isn't for me. And he's like, okay, if you need to quit, that's okay. And there was no encouragement. There was nothing like, you know what, you can still do this. And so college was not a waste because I did go to Bregan Court Reporting. I worked for him. And the one piece of advice that he gave me that lasted me for life was always read. He said, always read. I was not a reader. I graduated early and I wasn't even a reader. I don't even know how I did that. So it was shortly after that. I mean, I always remembered him saying that to me. So then I went to college or school for hairdressing. And as I graduated from there, I was pregnant with my firstborn. So I carried my son Alex for like 3 months or something. I carried him for a little bit while I was in school. So here I am in school being harassed by Kevin Leandro, going through a divorce, kind of still, well, yeah, I was still going through the divorce when I was in school, kind of. Still going through court stuff, and I am succeeding in school. So I caught up on all my homework last night except one thing I have to do, which is very important. I gotta make some time, like I gotta block time for that. I'm applying for a loan, which I did some more research last night on that. So, I mean, I just thrive in crises. I don't know why, but I do. So anyways, back to Ben and I. Ben will never ever find another woman like me. Life is short, and I am willing to work it out with my husband because I am a Christian. The Christian way doesn't have a lot of hate, okay? There's nothing to lose. I love my husband still. Yeah, have I had other guys very interested in me? Yes, I have. I even had someone last night say, for all you've gone through, you have a beautiful smile. You have like this great smile, even with everything you've been going through. And he's a brother to me, and he was very encouraging to me. I'll be with a bunch of guys today. I'm going to a meeting. And I enjoy men. I enjoy that they can be there for you and they can help you out. But they are brothers in Christ. A lot of the men I'm around are Christian men. And I mean, it's great to even see Christian men come right out and talk about God. I mean, in my groups, they come right out, they talk about God. And I so appreciate that because they strengthen my faith. We had a guy yesterday in our group talking about some things God did for him, and it was just an amazing faith builder. So there's only one man in my life right now, and even though there are men who do appreciate me, my husband is the one and only. So yeah. So I still love my husband. Yes, what he did, like I said, it's, it's not okay, but it is the past. It's over. It's done with. He took a tantrum. He has his freedom. He has his freedom to do whatever he wants. He always has. I have never stopped him from going to his parents. I have never stopped him from doing whatever he wanted in life. I have never been someone who says, you I've never been the one to control him. His mother, on the other hand, yep. So hopefully he got all that stuff straightened out with his parents. I did see his father in the corner of a video the other night. The old goat, I saw him. Yes, I still love his father. I still love his father. I mean, his father I've always liked very much. Yeah, so, I still love them, but that house, nobody can replace that. That house is full of memories of not only Ben and I when we were dating and we were swimming in the pool constantly, um, and hanging out in his room, and that whole home has us written all over it. And not only does it have us written all over it, but it has every single one of my sons written all over that home. So if Kevin thinks he's going to move in over there and leech off them, he's got another thing coming. That is my husband's family. And not only is it my husband's family, but they have been my family for ages. For ages, since I've been a kid. Donna and Rob, were involved in Epsom, and since I've been a kid, I've known, his mother. So there is no competition there. And every single weekend, going over to his parents, basically, that house belongs to Ben and I and our sons. That house, after Rob and Donna and Carrie, that house is ours. So there's no room for Kevin to leech off them and make money off them. That house has my son Vinny written all over it, pictures of Vinny's artwork. It has Alex written all over it, Jake written all over it, Michael and Zachary. Pictures after pictures after pictures. So every single inch of that home has my sons and me and Ben written all over it. So there's no way of getting out of this for Ben. We're together for eternity. I believe he's a Christian, and he's up in heaven with me when we die, and there's no way of getting out of this. So he is mine. I am him. I am his, not him. I can't talk sometimes. I am his. There is a marriage covenant there that God is the witness to. God put us together, and he had a plan for us. So there's no way of getting away with getting out of that covenant without some major consequences. So whether he divorced or not, he is still before God married to me.